ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Wednesday, July 3rd. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK. That's 304-396-8255. It's a final day for at least me this week. We've got shows planned for you tomorrow on Independence Day, and of course on the 5th. I will be back with you on Monday. Ben Anderson will be taking over tomorrow and Friday, so stick around for that. But of course today is, of course, Dog Dazzle. For those of you listening live, you have an opportunity to head down to Harris Riverfront Park, and it'll be the Tri-State's largest fireworks display later on this evening. And if you want details, you can head over to our sister station's website, 93.7 The Dog. So the gates are going to be opening up here momentarily if they haven't already. So largest fireworks display in the Tri-State happening tonight at Harris Riverfront Park. But until the fireworks go off, we've got you at least till 6 o'clock. Coming up on the program in just a few minutes, we're going to talk to Marshall cross-country coach Caleb Bowen. He's joining us in the next few minutes as we will update him on what we're doing, and of course he's going to update us on what he's doing. We'll get you an idea of what the schedule is going to look like and how he feels about the increased recruiting class. So all of that's coming up a little bit later on. Some other interesting news and notes we'll get into. I thought this was neat. I'm aware of certain things, and I'm a friend of John Mercer's, and so J.J. Mercer, his son, is joining Marshall's tennis program as an assistant coach. So we got John Mercer coming up on Tuesday to talk a little bit more about that. But that's pretty cool. You get to work with your son as a coach. Nothing like passing on the family business to the next generation. And so JJ is going to be an assistant with his father. He had a really good career as a Kentucky Wildcat. So he's going to bring that experience with him, playing for a program, an SEC program. He's definitely going to bring a lot to the table when it comes to Marshall tennis. So John Mercer joins us coming up on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to that. Colecats are in action again tonight. Colecats got the win against the Bluefield Ridge Runners, 12-7. So the Colecats off to a good start this week. Let's hope that they can get the rest of the job done. We talked about yesterday that if they could maybe get a string of wins together, they could put themselves in a better spot. Now, we still have plenty of time to go, but they need to start gaining ground right away. They are fourth in the East right now. The Danville Otterbots still lead the league in the East with a 14-9 record. And then Bluefield and Burlington both tied with 13 wins and 11 losses. So Tri-State has an opportunity to start catching up a little bit. You want to get into that 1 or 2 spot. You get into one of those 2 spots, and you're going to go into the playoff. And, of course, what it is you'll play either the top team or you are going to be the top team in the East, and then the West top 2 will play, and the winner of those 2 games will meet for the championship game. It really gives the league something and these players an opportunity to shoot for something. So that's what the standings look like right now. Plenty of time for Tri-State to start catching up. Yesterday in the App League, Greenville defeated Johnson City 8-6. The Sock Puppets did help out, beat Danville 7-5. And Pulaski got the win over the Bristol State Liners 6-1, and then Kingsport defeats Elizabethton 7-2. Same schedule tonight: Greenville and Johnson City, Burlington and Danville, Bristol and Pulaski, Elizabethton, Kingsport, and of course your Tri-State Colecats at the Bluefield Ridge Runners. They'll be back home. They'll get underway close to the weekend. They've got a nice 4-game homestand coming up, starting with Independence Day. So a little firework action for you tonight. Hopefully the ball will be flying out of the ballpark on Independence Day. And, of course, after that, we'll see what happens with the Colecats. But home games all season long right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So looking forward to some baseball coming back this week. That's that's a good long weekend to have them here in Huntington for the Independence holiday. So while we're getting ready to talk to Caleb Bowen in the next few minutes, we'll get your text in. We'll do that at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's going to be our number to be a part of today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And don't forget, coming up tonight after the show, a little bit later on, we'll have Pirates baseball. The Pirates lost to the Cardinals 7-4, so Game 2 coming up tonight, 6:40, right here on ESPN 94.1 at AM 930 will be first pitch. We'll go on the air at 6:15. So we got baseball for you all season long, all weekend long, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We'll go over everything that's happening across the board, but when we continue, we're going to talk to the cross-country coach. Caleb Bowen's joining us. It's been a few weeks since we've had a chance to talk to him, so he comes up on the program here in a minute. And then, don't forget, coming up next week, we've guaranteed you at least one good interview with John Mercer. We're working on filling up the spots as we speak, but we've got John Mercer on Tuesday of next week. We got Caleb Bowen coming up just a few minutes from now, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
In the heart of everyday life, where engines roar and steel meets earth, the quiet heroes rise with the dawn. These are the builders, the fixers, the unsung masters of trades that forge the backbone of America. At Collins Career Technical Center, we offer 6 trades programs to launch you into a rewarding new career. With convenient scheduling and financial aid options, your path awaits. Discover how at collins-cc.edu. Get skilled, get hired, and get ahead with Collins Career Technical Center.
Planning for a funeral is never easy, and selecting the right mortuary can be important. Family-owned and operated for over 6 decades, our family has helped other families going through the most difficult time. Chapman's Mortuary and Crematory can help you plan arrangements today or offer a pre-need funeral plan in line with your intimate wishes. And now, we provide Huntington's only on-site crematory. Call us for a free consultation. Chapman's Mortuary and Crematory, serving the tri-state for over 60 years.
Here's another Kindred Communications Community Chatter. The Cabell Huntington Health Department's conducting a series of evening vaccine clinics this summer. The dates are June 3rd, July 1st, August 5th, and September 9th, taking place from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the department at 703 7th Avenue. No appointment is necessary.
This Kindred Communications Community Chatter brought to you by the providers at Marshall OBGYN, online at marshallhealth.com/OBGYN.
Let the good times roll. Downtown Huntington's premier weekly music event is back. It's Mount West Ninth Street Live, presented by New Trail, Garage Beer, Big Truck, The Beast, La Marca Prosecco, and Matua's Sauvignon Blanc. This Friday, it's Cruise Avenue. Music starts at 7 on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Go-Mart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy food and drinks from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station. Mark your calendar for Friday, August 2nd, when 9th Street is Dead, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center and the music of the Grateful Dead. The Thunder and Herd Rally is Friday, August 16th. 9th Street Live is driven by Yes Chevy, Yes Ford every Friday night through Labor Day. 9th Street in Huntington between 3rd and 4th Avenues. Sponsored by Delta Hotels, Marshall OBGYN, Wendy's, Mountain Mindful, City of Huntington, Marshall University, Impact Media, Xfinity, and Kindred Communications.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up for 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Wednesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Let's welcome to the program now the cross-country coach at Marshall University. It's been a few weeks since he's been back with us. Caleb Bowen is with us, and of course, there's a lot happening right now with the track and field and the cross-country program. And first up, Caleb, good talking to you again.
Hey, Paul. How are you doing, man?
I'm well. We're getting set for the holiday weekend. You know how that goes. Fireworks from now until probably Monday, and then depending on where you live, probably another week after that.
Yeah, probably so.
You've been pretty busy. Let's talk a little bit about we got the recruiting class. We saw all the names that came across and how it got bigger and hopefully better than ever. How do you feel about that with all of this renewed energy and a renewed effort to try to build this program up to be the best it can be?
Yeah. So, I mean, Coach Roberts tasked us with trying to get as big of a class as possible for this upcoming year. Especially with the men's addition to the men's program, we really needed to fill in a lot of holes. I mean, we just need to get the best athletes as possible. So, the staff went really hard. I'm bringing in 8 athletes. The sprints and jumps has a lot coming in. The throws, pretty much every event group has brought in some really good athletes. So we're all excited. And technically, we're not done yet, which is kind of funny. But we've had several commits since we've posted that release. So we're going to have about 40-some athletes speak as newcomers coming in.
Is that the most you've had in a long while?
Yeah, a long while. I mean, it's kind of hard to compare since we've, not had the men's team. We've only recruited mostly women's track and field and then men's cross country. But yeah, for me, it's not the biggest class I've ever had. I've had a few more for just distance runners, but as a whole, definitely the biggest class.
Who stands out to you? Anyone when you look at this list that maybe you're excited about the most? I know when I put Coach Roberts on the spot, he was like, "Oh, they're all great." But is there somebody you're excited? Hey, wait till you see this runner.
I mean, there's definitely a few. On my side, I mean, I'm excited about all of them, so I don't want anybody to be left out. But we have a grad transfer coming in from Rhode Island. He's actually from Rock Hill High School in Ohio, but his name's Eli Baker, and he ran 149 indoors, which he'd be right at our school record in the 800 meters for indoor. So he's definitely somebody I'm excited about. That's going to be an immediate impact for both indoor and outdoor track. We got some young guys, though. I have the state champion in the 800, 1600, and 3200 this year from Winfield, Justin Lipscomb. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to help us a lot in cross-country and track. But then we got some other guys in the 800, like Luke Good and Christian Childs, who both have run 153 as high school seniors. So our mid-distance team is going to be really exciting to watch. And they're going to hopefully provide a lot of points indoors and outdoors. I don't want to speak for other coaches and their event groups, but I know that everybody's really high on Jason Ravello. He's a hurdler from Florida, IMG Academy. I mean, he's ranked, I forgot what he's ranked at the moment, but he's ranked in top 25 in hurdles. So he's going to be somebody in the country. So he's going to be somebody that's going to really help us a lot in the hurdles. But we have a ton. I mean, we've had a lot of good guys and girls from Ohio, Georgia, West Virginia, obviously, Pennsylvania, Virginia. That's all coming together, and I'm really excited to see it all work out.
Where are you finding the most success as far as recruiting is concerned? Are you being able to show that there's a renewed effort and a renewed energy at Marshall? Does that help open the door? Past performances as of late, what's doing it the most for you?
Well, as in terms of state, I think West Virginia and Ohio are our 2 biggest states we recruit from, and then we kind of branch out from there. But yeah, I think that what we've done so far the past couple of years has definitely helped. What we did with Brett Armbruster a couple of years ago, Abby Herring, Kylie Maston, Hannah Weiler, athletes like that. That's definitely helped. I mean, it makes my job a lot easier showing the progress they've made. And yeah, I think the past performances from this past year have definitely helped, inspire some people, help them buy into the program and all that.
What's life going to be like without Abby Herring? You brought her up. She was definitely a standout for the entirety of her career. What does life look like without her?
I mean, it's going to be sad because I really enjoy her, not just from the athletic performance side, but just as a person. I mean, she's always great to have around. Super sweet, super kind, very coachable. It's going to be tough, but I think it's going to really help the younger athletes. They're going to get a little more attention, a little more opportunities to grow. Sometimes when you cut down the big tree, the young saplings can grow. So I still think like Kylie Masson, Hannah Weiler, Asha Bora, athletes like that are definitely going to thrive because they have been already. And now they're going to have a little more opportunity to lead and to have that pressure be on them where it was on Abby. But I think it's going to be good. Like just allowing younger athletes to show off what they can do.
Who do you anticipate stepping up into that role? You can't replace Abby, and no one would want to, but the next Abby, the next person that can take the most from that opportunity or be that leader, who do you see or anticipate?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's going to be several that take a big step forward. I think Kylie is going to be the one to lead the team. She's a fifth-year senior at this point. She's done all the things. She's been right there. Her and Abby, worked right side by side together for every workout. So I first see her taking that role. But I also see Hannah Weiler being the next Kylie, taking that role. I definitely see Asha Bora and Jalen Browning taking a huge step forward and being those really strong reserve athletes. And then you have Taylor Spencer and Hannah Toss, who are upcoming sophomores. Taylor got fourth in the steeplechase. It's the first year she's ever done it. So I see her taking a big stride forward. Hannah Toss, more of a 5K, 10K athlete, so she's going to be fitting in right there in the cross-country season. And then I have two freshmen that I think will make really good performances and strides to helping the team. I have a girl named Destiny Berryman from Doddridge County and Ellie Hossefluke from Ripley. Both are great athletes, state runner-ups in both the 3,200 and 1,600. I think they're both going to do really well.
Caleb Bowen is with us, cross-country coach, Marshall University. Upcoming season is almost upon us, and, of course, the recruiting has been fantastic so far. You feel like now with where the program is, you can open those doors and you can go in pretty easily because you look at the names that are coming across in the recruiting lines and you see where they're at, what they've done, their success. Not to say that recruiting hasn't been as good in the past, but do you feel that we're now starting to see this program really start cooking when it comes to being just able to go anywhere?
I think so. I mean, it's always going to be hard, but we've told Coach Roberts when he came in, Coach Steve and I both told him, once we get an athlete to campus, that's the hardest part. Getting them to buy in to coming on a visit, that's the most difficult part. Once they get here, they usually fall in love with the area, the place, the history behind it all, and it almost sells itself. So as long as the scholarship offer or whatever we're offering meets their expectations, we have a lot of success. It's just trying to get them down here. 'Cause, I mean, when we're competing against some other bigger schools, a lot of times the stigma of Huntington scares off a lot of people. But once they get here, they realize it's really not that bad, and the university is an amazing place. It's people who've been here, who've either run or just graduated from here. They sell the school more than we can, and we have a lot of people who have friends or family members who've gone to Marshall on our team, and they were the reasons why they decided to take a visit. And once they get here, they realize it's awesome. So, yeah, I think it's always been tough to get them here, but once they get here, they kind of buy in.
Caleb Bowen's with us, Marshall cross-country coach. You got several meets. Let's talk about what you got coming up. First and foremost, August 30th, the Thundering Herd Invitational at the Kennedy YMCA Center Complex. Aren't those nice to have, those home events? Those are nice.
They are nice. They're tough because I do a lot of the work for them, but it's so rewarding seeing our athletes compete at a home venue, somewhere where they can call home. Without having the indoor track, whenever I was an athlete here, we didn't have anything. So being able to have places that you can call home is huge. And it's just fun. It's fun seeing them defend their home turf, to really enjoy a place that they get to practice on. Yeah, it means a lot.
Who do you have coming in for that? What kind of competition can you expect to face?
So far, we're not done yet. I'm still sending emails out to coaches and stuff, but it's gonna be pretty small again. The venue can't hold too big of a meet, so we're always conscious about who we invite and who we don't. One thing I didn't realize is that D2, they cannot start their competition season until like the week after, and that's something that we didn't know until after we solidified the dates. So unfortunately, it's going to be mostly like D1 and NAIA schools and D3 schools, just because it's just the way it works. And I don't understand why the NCAA did that, because NAIA, Division III, Division I, all have the same start to the season, and then D2 is just off. So we don't know why, but so we're going to have like Rio Grande, we're going to have Shawnee State, we're going to have Moorhead State, and then a few others. They're just going to fill in the roles.
Caleb Bowen is with us, Marshall's cross-country coach. So after the Invitational, let's talk about your schedule. What were you looking to put together this season? What were you hoping to get? What did you get? And is there anything really that stands out from what you've been able to do compared to the past with this schedule?
Yeah, so when we create the schedule, it's always a conscious decision for each meet to lead to our best performance at the conference championship and the regional championship. So we try to stimulate the conference course, we try to stimulate the competition, and just try to build each athlete up to be able to compete their best at the conference meet. So this year being a little bit different than last year because, we don't have Abby Herring anymore. So we didn't necessarily need to go to some of the bigger meets we've gone to in the past, but we need to really develop the athletes that we currently have. So instead of going to, I'll just start off the second meet. We have App State, a chance to see a conference rival amongst some other local North Carolina and Virginia schools. It's going to be a great meet, good competition. Actually a really good course too. We've been there back in 2020 and it was a little bit different of a course, but I think this rendition of it's going to be really good for us because it does stimulate the conference course really well. And then our third meet, we're going back to Louisville. That's one of the biggest meets of the year. There's, like 300 teams that will be there, and it's always a really competitive, really stacked race. So that'll give a good opportunity to some of our athletes to perform at a very high level in a big meet scenario, whereas like App State's a little bit smaller. There's going to be like 10 to 20 teams there. The third meet kind of stimulates that conference championship again, being in Bowling Green. It's close by. It's not too far. It's not like Texas A&M last year where we were going to another really big meet, but this will be a good chance for our developmental athletes to grow, to get some good experience, and get that conference meet scenario where it's every point matters. You're trying to look at getting in the top 10 rather than like Texas A&M where you're trying to get in the top 100. Totally different types of races there. And then conference is in Foley, Alabama, where it's been the past 2 years, and our regional championship is in Penn State.
Caleb Bowen is with us, the head coach of the Marshall cross country team. So let's talk about you. Let's get this straight. You competed in the Western States 100-mile endurance run over the weekend, and you finished pretty good. You did all right. So talk about that and how that experience was.
It was fun. I had really high goals going to Western States. Western States is definitely the Super Bowl of ultra running in America. It's really hard to get into. Only 370 people get in. To keep that in perspective, you have to get in through a lottery where 20,000 or more people will enter and only 370 people go. Or you have to qualify through a golden ticket process, which is 7 races that are 100K or above, and you have to get in the top 2. And I did that back in September at the Grindstone 100K. So I got second and was able to get a golden ticket and qualify for this year's Western State. It was tough, though. It was definitely one of, if not the hardest things I've ever done in my life. So it's run near Lake Tahoe, and it runs towards Sacramento and ends in Auburn, California. We start off at 6,000 feet elevation and go up to 8,000 feet before coming back down to sea level. So we have about 18,000 feet of elevation gain and 23,000 elevation loss. So it's, you go through various different types of, weather and environments. You go through the mountains, you go through what they call the canyons, which is basically running through the New River Gorge up and down 4 or 5 times. And it gets down up to in the hundreds in the highest parts of the course. So we had to navigate like heat, altitude, just the competition alone, and all the effects that the heat and altitude like kind of hit you with. For me, like I was really hoping to get top 10, and that definitely didn't happen. I had a really rough day actually, but I had to navigate just getting nauseous and sick and like throwing up really early in the race, like in the first 20 miles, and then trying to navigate how to fuel myself and hydrate enough to be able to get to the finish line. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely a tough day, but definitely want to go back and get a little bit of redemption because it didn't go the way I wanted, and I think I can do a lot better.
23rd place, by the way. Let's not discount what you did. 23rd. That's against some of the best in the world. You finished 23rd. You're not happy about that because I know you're a competitor and you want to go back for more. How rewarding and humbling is that at the same time to put yourself through that and to see where you finish compared to probably some of the very best in the world that do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely humbling. I've worked really hard towards this goal of racing here, and I really wanted to do well. I'm proud of the fact that I was able to push through some really hard times and places. And I give a lot of credit to my crew. I had 8 people that were out there helping me. My parents, my girlfriend, some former athletes. Dan Green, who ran for me, was a 2-time all-conference runner. Will Schaefer, I don't think he was all-conference runner, but he was, my teammate and athlete. And then actually one of my athletes currently, Donnie Spees, he's been living in Utah lately, and he just showed up to the race, and he actually was the reason why I finished because he just so happened to have a headlamp, and we had a crew snafu where there's a forest fire, and my crew was not able to get to the place where I was supposed to get the headlamp. And my athlete, Donnie Speeds, pulled through with a headlamp and gave it to me, and I mean, I wouldn't have been able to finish without it because it got really dark. So very a rewarding and humbling experience, but having the crew there, it meant so much. It was so special to see them and get to finish because we finished on a track and get to run with our crew to the finish line. It was awesome.
Caleb Bowen is with us, head coach of the Marshall cross country team. So, how do you prepare mentally for that? Physically is one thing, but mentally, how do you prepare? How would you instruct someone to prepare, and then how do you bring that back to make your athletes even better?
Well, I mean, I wish I could say I did it exactly right, but I didn't. I got really anxious, got put a little too much pressure on myself, and I think that's part of the reason why I started to have some of those rough times because I started getting really disappointed in myself and how things were going early on. But you just have to, part of the physical training is the mental side. Doing the 100-plus miles a week, doing all the extra stuff that helps mentally, callous your mind. And I would, if I was to help prepare somebody else, like say if one of my athletes wanted to run the Western States 100, I would tell them just to be prepared for everything. Mentally prepare for things to go wrong because it's going to happen. Through 100 miles, something's going to go wrong. So not letting yourself overreact, just take it, mile by mile, aid station by aid station. I think that's huge. Definitely try to break down the race into small portions and not think of the entirety, because that's something I was doing in the first 20 miles. I was like, if I'm feeling this bad now, how am I going to feel in mile 80? Because I can't keep going if it's going to be that long. But more often than not, you are able to push through some really hard things, and you just got to keep believing in yourself. You got to keep positive, and then just focus on the things you can control, which is like eating, drinking, your pace, not letting the race in itself, like the competition, get to you. Because like you said, there's some of the best athletes in the world. I mean, Jim Walmsley is literally the best athlete in the world in ultra running, and he actually won the race. Not like comparing yourself to those athletes. I mean, you just have to focus on yourself and what your job is to get to that next aid station. So what do you need to do to get there? Do you need to slow down? Do you need to speed up? Do you need to focus on the technicality of the course? Do you need to fuel, drink? All of those, putting ice on yourself, stuff like that is like really important. It helps the brain compartmentalize how to get to the finish line.
Now, for those who are maybe trying to understand what this really entails, you're trying to get to the next aid station, and then what happens when you get to the aid station until you go for the next aid station? Is there a pause? Is there a break? Is it just you dash in, you dash out, and you're off again for the next aid station?
Well, it just depends. The goal is to get out of the aid station as fast as possible. So if you don't need anything, you don't need to stop at all. And I did that for a couple times at the race, but when I started going through those hard, difficult times where I was feeling sick, feeling nauseous, throwing up, I needed to cool down. That was like the most important thing because it got up to 95 degrees that day, and it was up at elevation, so it was super dry. You didn't sweat, you just got hot. So the thing we worked on the most with my crew was putting ice on myself. I had a vest on, so we put ice in the vest. They have ice bandanas that I wore. We put ice in that. I had arm sleeves, and that was to protect my skin from the sun, but also to put ice in as well. So I had ice covering, pretty much my whole upper body. And then, when you start running, obviously that starts melting and it cools your body down. So that was the primary goal of each aid station, was to cool the body down as much as possible, and then to get me to eat some solid food, which, to be honest, for me was more mashed potatoes, strawberries, and watermelon. That's kind of what I reverted to. Just because the gels are a little too sweet and my stomach was so sick, I couldn't really stomach them down as much. So just trying to get as many calories and carbohydrates as you can without getting your stomach to feel really queasy. That was what we did at all the aid stations.
Caleb Bowen's with us, Marshall's cross-country coach. The schedule is out. You can check it out over on herdzone.com. And, of course, Caleb finishing 23rd. That is tremendous. A 23rd place finish and a 100-mile endurance run. That is spectacular. And I'm excited for you because if you're not happy with 23rd, I can't wait to see how you're ready to go the next time you get this shot.
Yeah, I definitely want to get top 10. I mean, when I was looking at the race and the competition, I was really hoping for top 5. That was my A goal. And if I would have run the time I wanted, I probably would have been right there. But you know what? You really need to learn about the course and the race, and the best way to do that is to experience it. So I definitely think I'm going to be more prepared next time around.
Well, congratulations. That's still a tremendous feat. 23rd. I don't think anyone listening to this show right now probably could finish 23rd, so you've got us all beat, and I hope you get that top 5 finish that you want.
Yeah, I hope so.
Caleb Bowen with us. Thanks for doing this. I hope you have a great holiday weekend and enjoy the fireworks and good-looking schedule here you got. This is going to be fun to follow your team once again, and hopefully we're talking about a lot of records, a lot of awards, and let's get that conference championship eventually.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely believe we will. I think we're going to have some really good conversations this year on the phone because the team's looking good.
Thanks, Coach. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon.
That's Caleb Bowen, 23rd. Can you imagine running a 100-mile race? Could you imagine doing that? And he did it, and he was the 23rd best that ran it. And these are some of the very best that do this. And he was 23rd, and he's not happy. I mean, he's not like, I'm terrible, but he's like, I can do better. 23rd, I can do much better. That's impressive. We'll get your text in, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
These days, you can use propane for so much more than grilling. Propane is reliable fuel for standby generators, furnaces, kitchen appliances, water heaters, and more. Always with cost-saving efficiency and cleaner performance than electricity. Clean energy around every corner. Propane can do that.
The Eric family has been delivering propane comfort across Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia since 1952. Go to ericspropane.com for more information.
Get an 11% rebate at Menards. Rust-Oleum Stops Rust Custom 5-in-1 Spray Paint lets you choose from 5 spray patterns with a twist of the dial. It protects indoor and outdoor metal and wood projects for long-lasting results and is available in more than 40 colors. Get started on your painting project at Menards, #1 in customer satisfaction among home improvement retailers according to J.D. Power. For more information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Save big money at Menards.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Hey Tri-State, this is Amy from Acme Drug Testing in Catlettsburg, Kentucky. We hope all of you have a safe and fun-filled July 4th weekend. Don't forget Dog Dazzle and stay for the best fireworks in the Tri-State. Wear your red, white, and blue, and I will see you there.
Hey, it's Big John here. You looking for a smile transformation? 36 years of experience. Who has that? Thompson Orthodontics does, and they're going to offer personal orthodontic care, traditional braces. How about a flexible payment arrangement just for you? And they'll bill all insurance and West Virginia Medicaid. Experience the friendly, fun atmosphere and meet the amazing staff. My daughter Ruby had to have braces. That's where we went. She has a perfect smile, and I'm telling you, it's just a phone call away. Visit Thompson Orthodontics online at yoursmilingfaces.com today. Tell them Big John sent you.
Thoroughbred Express Car Wash. Sign up today and your first month of any membership plan is just $10. Any single wash or membership includes Howard vacuums, Rhino Mac cleaner spray, microfiber towels, bay trash cans, and even air purge gun tools. Follow us online at thoroughbredexpress.com, Facebook, and Instagram for all updates, news, and promos. Thoroughbred Express Car Wash, where every wash is an adventure and every day is a shining opportunity. Check out our locations at Hal Greer Boulevard, Route 60, Hurricane, Hayes Valley, Cross Lanes, Charleston, South Point, Ashland, and Maysville.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Ohio Valley Bank, dedicated to giving you the financial answers you deserve. Member FDIC. Carmichael Sales, carrying a great selection of used tractors, hay, and tillage equipment. 798 Pinecrest Drive, Jackson Pike. Secure Construction Company in Huntington. Secure Construction is home improvement in secure hands. SecureConstruction.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in West Virginia.
This message presented by the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
Text lines 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Welcome back to today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 as we get set for your weekend. Of course, fireworks tonight. For those of you listening in the Huntington area, you can head on down to Harris Riverfront Park in Huntington. It's Dog Dazzle. It's happening right now. Fireworks coming up tonight. It's going to be the largest fireworks display in the tri-state. So big time had tonight. Hope you have a great holiday weekend and a wonderful Independence Day. And, of course, for those of our friends who are from England, sorry you have to work on 4th of July. I hate that for you. I've seen that joke going around. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, the whole, hey, enjoy your day at work, England day. That is some petty, dating back to 1776. That's some serious petty going on. And don't forget, we got baseball coming up tonight right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The Pirates looking to get back on the winning side of things. They lost to the Cardinals 7-4. We'll go on the air 6:15 tonight here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The Reds got the best of the Yankees 5-4. They'll start their second game of the series tonight, 7:05. Guardians got the better of the White Sox, 7-6. Those teams meet again tonight, 6:40 in Cleveland. And Long Island beat Charleston, 6-4. Those two teams meet again tonight, 6:35 in New York. Some ticket news for those of you looking for a way to go see Marshall and Virginia Tech. According to Marshall Athletics, tickets to the game on September 7th between the Herd and the Hokies, and that game in Blacksburg, Virginia, now available to Big Green members and Herd season ticket holders. Those can be purchased at herdzone.com using the promo code SANDMAN. That's not a bad code. That is not a bad code to use. So Sandman, for those of you who are Big Green members and Herd season ticket holders. Our text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Final break coming back. We'll wrap it up here on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Have you had your septic tank service lately? For a free-flowing system, it's vital to get your septic tank serviced every 3 to 5 years. Call One Way Septic today, 304-429-5218. That's 304-429-5218. Online at onewayseptic.com. One Way Septic offers septic services in West Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio, both residential and commercial services. Septic tank pumping, old system repairs, grease trap cleaning. There's only one way for top-notch service. It's One Way Septic, 304-429-5218.
Greenup County Public Library is wrapping up the summer reading program this month with an event that you won't want to miss. The wrap-up party will be held at the Greenup Branch on July 15th, at Flatwoods July 16th, and at McHale July 18th from 6 to 8 p.m. at each location. Enjoy an evening of pizza, prizes, and fun with books offered for sale. For information on other great events this month, check out the Greenup County Public Library Facebook page or visit the website greenuplib.org for complete details.
Let the good times roll. Downtown Huntington's premier weekly music event is back. It's Mount West Ninth Street Live, presented by New Trail, Garage Beer, Big Truck, The Beast, La Marca Prosecco, and Matua Sauvignon Blanc. This Friday, it's Cruise Avenue. Music starts at 7 on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Go-Mart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy food and drinks from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station. Mark your calendar for Friday, August 2nd, when 9th Street is Dead, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center and the music of the Grateful Dead. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 16th. 9th Street Live is driven by Yes Chevy, Yes Ford every Friday night through Labor Day. 9th Street in Huntington between 3rd and 4th Avenues. Sponsored by Delta Hotels, Marshall OBGYN, Wendy's, Mountain Mindful, City of Huntington, Marshall University, Impact Media, Xfinity, and Kendrick Communications.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Opportunities present themselves every day. Opportunities that move us forward. Opportunities to serve part-time in your community while continuing their full-time careers or education to help keep our nation safe at home and around the globe. Explore your opportunities in the Air Force Reserve.
People think saving money is hard, but really, it's easy. It's as simple as changing a few spending habits. For free tips on how to save the easy way, check out feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
It's our final segment for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Hope you're getting set for a fantastic Independence Day and holiday weekend. I know I am. Of course, Saturday, we're going to have the big one, Money in the Bank. Hey, look, the fireworks are a highlight of my weekend. The fireworks are always a highlight, of course. Sports, love it. Independence Day. Then you got Money in the Bank coming up this weekend. Big match between Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. Jey Uso's got to win this. Give it to Jey Uso. And then the women's Money in the Bank match, Io Sky versus Chelsea Green, and you got Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, Zoe Stark. Give that briefcase to Chelsea Green. That would be comedy gold for an entire year. And, of course, unfortunately, I think that Seth freaking Rollins loses to Damian Priest. I don't think that Seth's getting the title back. I'm sure there's going to be some shenanigans going on there. I don't see Braun Breaker beating Sami Zayn just yet. It's going to be a tough match. And then I anticipate the New Look Bloodline beating the team of Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. There'll be some tomfoolery there. There'll be a run-in or something. I don't know. Maybe Roman Reigns shows up to avenge the beatdown that Paul Heyman got. For those of you not watching WWE, I know this is all foreign tongue to you, but that should be a fun one this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. So we got Money in the Bank, of course, and we got baseball action all weekend long. For those of you that are going to be heading over to Jack Cook Field this weekend, plenty of Cold-Cats baseball to watch. Those games going to be right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So you got a lot to work into your holiday weekend. And, of course, don't forget, we got Pirates baseball coming up tonight right here. 6:15 is going to be our airtime. 6:40, first pitch. The Pirates in action right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Got to get a win against those Cardinals, trying to stay in the hunt for at least a wild card spot. I don't know if they can get the division, but they can. And I think they have a good shot at getting a wild card spot. But still plenty of baseball to be had. And we've got it all right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So hope you have big plans for this weekend. I'll be off the next couple of days. So what we're going to do is we're going to give an opportunity for a gentleman who has worked very hard this summer for us, Ben Anderson, our intern. I'm excited for him. He's getting the opportunity to do the show for the next couple of days. So tune in for him. It should be fun. I know he's going to be talking to Christian Palmer, who's the general manager of the Tri-State Cold-Cats. Christian, a former intern of mine as well, and he has had a tremendous run so far. First ever general manager of the Tri-State Cold-Cats. As we joked with him, he is the youngest general manager of the Tri-State Cold-Cats, and we also joke with him he's the oldest general manager of the Tri-State Cold-Cats. So he'll be with Ben tomorrow, and of course Ben will be taking over the next couple of days. Great opportunity for him, and I'm looking forward to it. So good luck to Ben as he does the show. He revealed to me that he was a little nervous going into the show tomorrow. He's done radio before. This is not new to him. So now you're taking on the big show. This is the big show here. Don't screw it up, Ben. That's my advice to you. That's my only advice to you is don't screw it up. Don't wreck it when I come back. Just make sure it's in one piece when I come back. I got the thumbs up from Ben on that. Hey, looking forward to it tomorrow. Ben's going to do a fantastic job these next couple of days. I will talk to you on Monday. But I'm not going anywhere. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Paul Swann. And, of course, you can listen to previous episodes of The Drive by going to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or just wherever you get your podcasts. We're there. And if we're not there, tell them you want us, and we'll get on that platform too. Have a great 4th of July and holiday weekend. I'll be back with you on Monday. Until then, for our producer, Ben Anderson, I'm Paul Swann. This has been The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We
retransmitting in glorious FM on 94.1 W227BS Huntington. This is 930 WRVC Huntington, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting.